Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into something big, something that's fundamentally reshaping how brands get seen online. AI search. Specifically, how you integrate it into your enterprise visibility strategy.
It's a huge topic right now, and the source material we're looking at today, it actually provides a pretty clear roadmap for how, existing SEO and content approaches need to shift.
Absolutely. So our mission for this deep dive is basically to, well, cut through some of the hype, pull out the really crucial insights from this material, and get our heads around how AI search is genuinely changing the visibility game. And, importantly, how you can adapt what you're already doing, using the insights from this source.
And there's a pretty arresting hook right at the start, isn't there? The source flags these forecasts. I think it was 90% of U.S. citizens might be using AI search as their main tool by 2027.
Wow, 90%.
Yeah. I mean, think about that scale. It's already becoming so central to how people get information, how they form opinions, what they decide to do.
So it's not like we need to rip everything up and start again, according to this source.
No, not entirely. It frames it more as a significant evolution, a strategic adaptation.
Okay, so we're going to explore the key things the source digs into. Thinking about content structure for this new AI audience, how we build authority in a way that resonates with AI, which bits of technical SEO suddenly become absolutely crucial.
Right. And then there's factoring in things like multimodal search, visual, voice,
Ah,
how different teams like brand and PR need to get involved.
yeah, and tracking what AI is actually saying about you, which sounds tricky. And finally, how do we even measure if any of this is working in this new landscape?
Makes sense. So where should we start? That new audience piece, the AI models.
Yeah, let's kick off there because, the core goal is still creating valuable stuff that people actually want that matches their intent. But now there's this, well, incredibly powerful other reader in the room, the AI itself.
Exactly. The material really hammers this point home. Your content has this dual role now. It's not just for human eyes, it's effectively the training ground for these AI models.
So what the AI shows in its results is directly shaped by our content.
Directly, by how well your content signals expertise, authority, and relevance. That whole EAT concept, which we know from SEO, the source argues it's even more critical now, but viewed through the AI's interpretation.
Okay, so if AI is reading, how does the source say we should structure content for it? Is it different?
It builds on good practice. The main idea is organizing content into natural clusters of related topics, all linking back to really comprehensive pillar pages.
Ah, the topic cluster model.
Right. The source explains this helps the LLMs, the large language models behind a lot of AI search, grasp the depth and breadth of your knowledge on a subject. It anticipates the follow-up questions a user might have, showing the AI you've covered the whole journey, not just one little piece.
That makes a lot of sense. You're basically helping the AI build its own mental map of your expertise. Does the source mention specific content formats that AI particularly likes or finds easy to digest?
It does, yeah. It highlights formats that chunk information neatly for AI retrieval. Things like FAQs are a big one.
Yeah.
And there's a neat tip. Actually research common AI prompts people use in your niche to shape those FAQs. Also, bullet points, clear step-by-step instructions, tables, even data within infographics, anything that presents information clearly and concisely.
Got it. Making it super easy for the AI to pull out the key facts. And what about just making sure the AI knows who is saying all this, like our brand?
Clarity is key there. The source advises using really clear, natural language. Simple sentences when you mention your brand name, your products, key features.
Avoid jargon around your own stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. Avoid overly complex or ambiguous phrasing about who you are and what you offer. Helps the AI make those strong, correct associations and understand your positioning clearly.
Okay, structure helps the AI read. Now, let's talk credibility. Building authority for the AI era. How does the source suggest this is different from, the authority building we've always done?
It's definitely connected, but it has this AI-centric layer. To really build that topical authority for AI, the material suggests you start by mapping out your space. Identify the core topics, sure, but also pinpoint the leading voices, the sources that AI already seems to trust and cite in your industry.
Like finding out who the AI thinks the experts are already.
Exactly. See what kind of content they produce, what range they cover, then look for the gaps on your own site compared to them, but also gaps in the whole industry conversation that you could fill.
And then what? Just mentioning established experts.
Leveraging recognized names, established concepts, well-known experts in your field, that definitely adds weight in the AI's assessment. but it's also about becoming one of those trusted voices yourself.
How do you do that?
The source really emphasizes publishing original research-driven insights, thought leadership, stuff that's valuable enough to actually earn citations in what it calls these AI-trusted spaces.
Okay, AI trusted spaces.
Yeah.
How do we find those and stay relevant? Things change so fast.
Good question. The source points towards actively monitoring and, where appropriate, engaging in the real-time conversations happening in your industry. It specifically calls out platforms like Reddit and YouTube as places where new trends and discussions often bubble up discussions that AI models frequently learn from.
So being part of the current buzz helps AI see you as authoritative.
That's the idea. The more you're visibly involved in those timely, credible conversations, the stronger the association AI makes between your brand and those key topics. It builds that perception of authority over time.
All right, this next bit is where I think it gets, potentially a bit intimidating for some. Technical SEO. The source says the basics are the same, but some elements are now, massively more important, specifically because of AI. What are the absolute must-dos now?
Yeah, this is crucial. Top of the list, your site structure. It needs to be an absolutely rock-solid, clear roadmap. Not just easy for users to navigate, but critically, easy for AI crawlers to follow, understand relations between pages, and pull content from efficiently.
And structured data. Schema markup. I hear that mentioned a lot.
Non-negotiable, according to the source. It flags schema as absolutely vital for AI recognition and retrieval. It explicitly tells the AI what things are, how they relate, like this is a product, this is its price, this is a review. It helps the AI process key info much, much faster.
Which then has that knock-on benefit for regular search too, right?
Exactly. It significantly boosts your chances of getting those rich results, the fancy snippets in Google. And the source threw in a pretty compelling stat. Users apparently click on rich results 58% of the time versus only 41% for standard blue links.
Wow, okay, that's a big difference. So
Yeah.
clear schema helps AI, which helps visibility, which helps users. Makes sense. What of the actual code, how the crawlers interact with the page itself?
Clean HTML is fundamental. And the source gives a strong warning about relying too heavily on JavaScript to render your main content.
How is that?
Turns out many AI crawlers, or at least the ones mentioned in the source, aren't great at executing JavaScript. So if your key information only appears after JavaScript runs, the AI might just miss it entirely.
Okay, that's a potential big blind spot. Anything else on crawlers?
You can be proactive. The source suggests explicitly allowing specific AI crawlers in your robots.txt file names, like GPT-bot, ChatGPT user, Perplexity-bot are mentioned.
Is there an easy way to just, check if an AI can actually read your important content?
The source suggests a pretty straightforward check. Just ask the AI platform itself a question where the answer should be on your site, then see if it can cite your page as a source. If it does, that's a decent sign it can crawl and understand that content.
Huh. Interesting. So those basic technical checks we always did for Google.
Still vital, maybe even more so now because of AI. Regularly checking for broken links, making sure resources aren't blocked accidentally, all that stuff matters. And structured XML sitemaps are still essential roadmaps for AI, pointing them straight to your most important pages.
And what about site speed? Still a top priority.
Oh, absolutely. Site performance impacts AI retrieval just like it impacts user experience. Optimizing images, minimizing script delays, using CDNs, hitting those core Web Vitals targets. It's not just about keeping users happy. It makes it faster and easier for AI to process your site too, which feeds back into better SEO and ultimately conversions.
Okay, let's broaden out from just text. Multimodal search is really taking off. How does AI handle images, video, audio, and what does the source say we need to do there?
Yeah, AI isn't just reading anymore. It's trying to understand the world through multiple inputs. The source uses Google Lens as a big example, apparently handling billions of visual searches every month.
Billions. Okay.
So for your visual content images, video's basic best practices become even more important as AI inputs. Things like descriptive file names for images, clear alt text, providing transcripts for videos. These are the hooks AI uses to understand what's in that non-text content.
So you're essentially giving the AI the metadata it needs to see or hear the content.
In essence, yes, you're helping it interpret and categorize it correctly. The source also briefly mentions using Open Graph tags for content shared on social media. Apparently, this helps simplify how AI interprets and summarizes that content, perhaps for search results or social previews.
And voice search. That feels inherently very conversational, very natural language.
It is. And the key takeaway from the source here is that voice queries naturally mimic how people actually speak. So the advice is simple. try asking the questions related to your content out loud yourself.
To find the keywords.
Exactly. To find those longer tail, more conversational phrases that people and AI assistants are likely to use, your content then needs to be structured to provide direct answers to those natural language questions.
So again, structure helps, like using FAQs.
Precisely. And again, structured data like schema can explicitly signpost things like FAQs or product reviews or pricing, making it much easier for an AI to pull out a concise, relevant answer for a voice query.
Listening to all this, it really doesn't sound like a job just for the SEO team anymore. Collaboration across different departments feels essential.
Oh, absolutely critical. AI search doesn't operate in a vacuum. It learns from your brand's entire digital presence. The source is clear. Your brand marketing teams, your PR teams, they are now directly influencing how AI perceives your brand's credibility and authority.
How so?
You need to consciously leverage those channels, brand comms, digital PR to shape the narrative AI sees. It should encounter consistent signals about your brand's credibility everywhere.
So it matters where you get mentioned, not just that you get mentioned.
Exactly. The advice is to actually analyze the publications and platforms that AI seems to reference frequently in your specific industry. Then, strategically target getting positive coverage in those specific places, the ones AI already trusts.
And building relationships.
Yeah, building relationships with relevant media, key influencers, established industry voices, the people who are already part of the conversations AI is likely monitoring.
The source mentioned contextual mentions too.
Yes, that's important. Earning brand mentions within the context of relevant, authoritative discussions in these key spaces. And then, crucially, staying engaged in the surrounding conversation, it reinforces your leadership position to the AI.
And the underlying theme seems to be consistency.
Huge takeaway here. Brand consistency across every single channel. Standardize your core messaging, your product descriptions, your overall positioning everywhere online. The source really highlights how this strengthens AI visibility and recognition over time because it gives the AI a clear, repeated narrative and reinforces those connections to your key topics and expert voices.
That consistency feels like a long-term play, but obviously powerful if AI relies on it.
Oh.
Okay, so we're doing all this. How do we actually keep tabs on what the AI is doing with it? Monitoring and adapting, following the AI's responses.
This is maybe one of the most crucial ongoing parts. You absolutely need a process for regularly monitoring the AI-generated responses for queries that matter to your brand, your products, your topics.
Why? What does that tell us?
It tells you exactly how search behavior is shifting in real time. It shows you how AI is currently interpreting information in your space and how it's choosing to present it. It's your direct feedback loop.
And then you use that feedback too.
To identify the gaps.
Yeah.
Where does the AI seem confused? Where is your content not cutting through? Use those insights to refine your existing content or create new content, specifically designed to provide the clear, concise, comprehensive answers that the AI seems to be looking for. And optimize for those specific long-tail natural language questions you see cropping up in AI interactions.
The source mentions specific types of AI results too, like RA.
Yeah, retrieval augmented generation. It's important to identify which platforms might be using hybrid approaches or which specific queries trigger these RA results. That's where the AI explicitly pulls information from certain web sources to construct its answer. If your content is getting cited as a source in those RE outputs, the source material basically says it's non-negotiable. You have to prioritize keeping that specific piece of content accurate and up to date. That's critical for maintaining your visibility and trustworthiness in AI responses.
So, being accurate right where the AI is pointing makes sense. How do we actively try to become one of those preferred sources?
Publish original stuff. The source strongly suggests putting out original research, insights backed by data, expert commentary, things that position you as a primary source, making you a natural candidate for AI and other industry leaders to cite.
And credibility signals within the content.
Reinforce your own credibility. Reference other reliable sources where appropriate. Make the expertise of your authors or contributors clearly visible. It all adds up.
And staying current. That came up earlier too.
Absolutely vital. Cannot be stressed enough. The source reiterates tracking trends and real-time discussions on places like Reddit, social media, industry forums. AI learns from what's current, so your content needs to reflect the now.
Okay. Wow. So we're structuring content differently, building authority in new ways, tuning up technical SEO, thinking about images and voice, getting teams talking, constantly monitoring. How on earth do we measure if this is actually successful, especially when AI might just give the answer and the user never clicks through? Traditional SEO metrics feel incomplete.
You've absolutely hit on the core measurement challenge the source identifies. Metrics we've relied on for years, keyword rankings, click-through rates, even basic website traffic. They just don't tell the whole story anymore because of these zero-click AI interactions.
So where does the focus shift then? What do we measure?
The focus shifts towards impressions and what the source terms AI-driven visibility. Basically, tracking how often your brand, your products, your topics are actually appearing within these AI search platforms and features.
Like mentions in the AI summaries.
Exactly. Mentions in things like Google's AI overviews, appearances in knowledge panels that AI might use, even those traditional featured snippets that AI often draws from, that gives you an initial sense of whether the AI is even aware of you in the right contexts.
But visibility is one thing. How do we know if it's actually leading to anything valuable for the business?
That's the crucial next step. The source really highlights the need to track branded engagement metrics as a key indicator.
Branded engagement, meaning
Meaning things like a rise in branded searches, people typing your actual brand name into Google or Bing after potentially seeing you in an AI result, or increases in direct traffic to your website, or more returning visitors. These are strong signals that the initial AI discovery phase successfully sparked awareness and prompted people to actively seek you out.
okay, so the AI puts you on their radar,
Yeah.
and then they come looking for you directly.
Precisely. It's tracking that follow-through effect. The source also advises getting quite granular, tracking performance across the different major AI platforms. ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity are mentioned, because their responses and the sources they favor can vary. Mapping that whole landscape helps you refine your strategy everywhere.
This has been incredibly insightful. It really feels like AI search isn't some future thing. It's actively changing the discovery landscape right now.
It really is, and the core message from the source seems to be leverage the strengths you already have, your valuable content, your technical foundation, but you must consciously adapt those key areas. How your content is structured for AI readability, how you build and project authority that AI systems recognize, ensuring your technical setup is truly robust for these new crawlers.
Right, and thinking beyond just text, visual, voice, getting different teams aligned for that consistent brand signal.
And constantly, vigilantly monitoring how AI is perceiving and presenting your brand. It's an ongoing process.
The call to action from the material feels really clear then. Start auditing your content now with AI in mind. Refine your technical performance based on these new priorities, and begin actively tracking how and where AI search is surfacing your brand today.
Yeah, the analysis and the source definitely suggests that the brands putting in the work to adapt right now are the ones who are going to be setting the pace and defining the new rules for search visibility in this emerging AI-first world.
Which really brings up a crucial question for everyone listening. Thinking about your own situation, your own content, your technical setup, based on what we've talked through today, how quickly can you realistically audit things and make sure you're ready to play by these evolving rules? What's maybe the first small, manageable step you could take this week to start preparing for this AI-driven future of search?